Good morning, everyone. This is Reverend John Turner from the Orange County Buddhist Church and from the Vista Buddhist Temple. I'm here to lead family service for December 13th. This is our last service as we move into several holiday days off in December. We'll be meeting back up again in January, and those will be contained in the announcements. You may notice that I have virtually traveled to the Vista Buddhist Temple today. This is their virtual Naijin. I thought it would be nice to include them in our services. So this is their Naijin. It's gorgeous. They have their actual fancy special service uchishiki, tablecloths out, coverings. So I thought it would be nice to give them a nod as part of the OCBC family. We've done a lot of things together. We're kind of merging online in a sense. So for the order of service today, we will be chanting the Sambutsuge on page 33 in the service book. And you can either have the service book at home, or you can download the actual sutra chanting pages. They're posted on the ocbuddhist.org website as a PDF. And I always mention you can download them. You can look at them online on the website, or you can use them on your device at home locally, which I like to do. You don't have to worry about Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything. Or you can also print them out and have a hard copy for yourself, which is very convenient. Then we will have a very special musical offering. It is called My Pain, My Joy. And this is kind of what today's Dharma talk is about. We're heading into Christmas. I'm wearing my candy cane tie. So the last time I spoke, we talked about Thanksgiving and gratitude and no regrets, or no regrets if you're a stickler for proper spelling. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what is a Christmas movie in the United States. What does it mean? I struggled with this. I didn't understand what a Christmas movie was. I kind of thought they should be more religious, but it's a genre, and it has about 8 different characteristics that we'll go through, and I'd like to show you some examples. And so at the holiday time, if we can embrace our pain and transcend it, we can realize deep spiritual joy in our lives. Next, we'll have a selected saying that ties into the Dharma talk. And then I will give a Dharma talk. And it's got a cool title. And then we'll close with the selected saying and announcements. So, as we always do at service, could you please join me in Gasho? Nam mandavats, nam mandavats, nam mandavats, nam mandavats, nam mandavats. And we will bring our service book to our forehead out of respect. And then turn to page 33. Gogen gege ejen mugoku nyoze emyo muyo tosha nichigatsu mani shuko enyo kaishitsu onpe yunyaku jumoku nyorai yogen chose murin shogaku dai on koru jipo kaimon chojin sanmai chi e hitoku muryo shusho kei jindai zennen shobutsu okai gujin jin no 苦語外体無明欲ぬ生存読む二の四子人徳無量空君後内中世人名光明異相人道内戦願が差物在所法可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任精進如税三昧知恵以上合成特物不行志願一切空空一切内安決し有物百千億万無量内小修行語者供養一切死と諸物不如愚道賢者不逆頻尿語者諸物世界不不可け無種節道光明師匠変地諸国尿税精進偉人難路老が差物国土内一公衆奇妙道場超絶国女内音任務闘争がと愛民道夏一切自法来生心熱症状移動が国経楽安穏古物神妙税が心象発願の日力少々欲自法生存知恵無下上路子孫知が心情経路心知上級読中願行承認忍辱不下ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダ Nani shikudoku byo no sei isai no hon mo nai ishin ojo an la koku. Close our books. Bring it to our forehead out of respect. Then we'll put our hands together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. So I had mentioned earlier that we're very lucky to have a brand new premiere musical offering. It's a musical performance by Cherry Blossoms, a really well-known trio of some OCBC members, wonderful singers. They play koto. It is Lisa Horikawa, Miko Shudo, and Emily Yoshihara. And I'm pretty good with computers and editing, but they were able to sing separately, but together. They are one. They likely sent each other their videos, and then they would sync their singing up with the other person. And not only is timing an issue, but the harmonies are really difficult. I am not up to this task, but I am so thankful that Lisa, Miko, and Emily are, and we will now have their performance of My Pain, My Joy. We transcend pain and we realize joy. And this is one of the themes in American Christmas movies. This was first performed for the BWA Eshini Kakushini-sama memorial service that we had about a week or two ago in late November. So here it is, the Cherry Blossoms.
My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. My joy is like the spring, so warm the flowers bloom. My heart it sings the truth of joy of love I'll notice as they come and go. My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. My joy is like the spring, so warm the flowers bloom.
So with palms together, thank you very much. That was really beautiful. That was an original composition. And the reason why it sounded so Buddhist is it was inspired by the poetry of Thich Nhat Hanh. And so I really think this is where we get this idea of Christmas spirit that we'll be talking about today. But first, I'd like to start with the selected sayings. This is from page 9, number 5. Please join me in Gasho. When, through Amita's directing of virtue to them, by the power, we hear the true and real virtues and realize supreme Shinjin. These people immediately attain great joy and reach the stage of non-retrogression, so that without being made to sunder their blind passions, they are brought quickly to the realization of great nirvana. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So this is one of my favorite quotes. We realize insight without removing our blind passions. We embrace our pain and at the same time realize joy, which is the song we just heard. So, and it's immediate. So we don't have to become someone different. We don't have to become more pure. We just have to see things clearly and realize what's truly important in our lives. So with that in mind, we're going to move on to my Dharma talk. You need a catchy title on YouTube. And I struggled a bit, but I really like this one. A Buddhist Present with a question mark. So this is a play on words. I hope that you get it. You might get it one way as a Christian or another way as a Buddhist. But I think, as with Thanksgiving, the Christmas time is an important holiday for Buddhists as well. This idea of realizing what's truly important in life and connecting with others in a deep sense of oneness. Just like the trio, there were 4 parts, 3 singers and an instrument, and yet they all came together as one, and they couldn't have done it alone. So I talked a little bit about this kind of controversy about what makes a Christmas movie. And there's a lot of controversies like this on the internet. I wanted to show you one. There's a big, great mac and cheese debate on the internet. And it's about whether you should use a fork or a spoon. I guess if it's a little runny, you have to use a spoon. I guess if it's thick, you can use a fork. But they did a survey, and this is the pie chart for the mac and cheese debate. I think I use a fork because I like to stick the tongs through the holes in the macaroni noodle and eat it that way. So here's 2 quotes from young kids. One says, "This is how you tell whether you have made mac and cheese properly. If you need a spoon, the answer is no." Another person said, "If I'm alone, it could be the wooden spoon I use to mix it. Not gonna lie, I'd likely be in a sweatpants and watching reality TV." So people said other replies were chopsticks. I think that would be popular at OCBC. This one person said he uses a funnel. He just stuffs it down. And I like Kevin B is good. He uses a shovel. So 58% fork, 21% spoon, and the 20% other would be an interesting conversation to have. This was filled out 53% guys, 47% girls, 62% married, 38% single, 46% kids, and 54% not kids. So this is a debate to have on Facebook or YouTube. This one was a big deal. I remember this one. I'm not super aware of social media, but this was a big thing. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't know. I thought immediately, of course, it's a sandwich. It's meat between two pieces of bread. But people like to debate and argue. And I think this was a draw. I don't think there was a consensus on this. So this is the one, when I mentioned the hot dog thing to my son, he immediately told me about this one. There's a big controversy about how would dogs wear pants. These are important questions when we're stay-at-home orders and pandemic and we don't have anything to do. I immediately thought it was the dog on the right. You put on his pants. You have to put a little hole, though, for the tail, and then you buckle it up around their lower abdomen, just like you would on a human being. But on the left, I guess they're considering that they have 4 legs, not 2 legs. And so that's how they think you should do it. But I don't see how you keep them up. So this is my favorite of meaningless arguments on the internet. So I wanted to move to this. I have a 30-second video that talks about what is a Christmas movie in our culture. We talked about what Thanksgiving means in our culture. There's a fallacy that sometimes scholars use as they call it a genetic fallacy, that Christmas might have meant something different 2,000 years ago, or marriage, or Thanksgiving. But we're kind of talking about what it means today. And so as a minister, I kind of thought a Christmas movie had to be religious. So I thought most of the movies we're going to see here today were not Christmas movies. They're only set during Christmas. Christmas is used as a backdrop. But that's actually the definition of a Christmas movie in our culture. Christmas, in some sense, has been secularized and made every day. And it's a time to appreciate one another and to not go to work and to really think about what's most important. So this has 8 identifying qualities that help define a movie as a Christmas movie in that genre. So this is the definition of a Christmas movie. The setting. It has to be during December. It has to be marketed as a Christmas movie. It has to be released at Christmas time as well. It has to contain Christmas music. It has to focus on the Christmas spirit. I would argue one of insight and realization that one has during this time. There has to be, number 5, there has to be a Grinch or a Scrooge, somebody who's unenlightened, who's filled with blind passions, and hasn't been touched by the light of the Dharma, and has not been able to realize great joy in their life. And what's interesting is the Grinch is kind of the cartoon version of the Scrooge. Number 6, it has to have Christmas themes of family and healing. Number 7 is important. The tone of the movie has to be subjective. It's not an objective story. It's a story about feelings and yearnings in that way. And number 8, it has to have an awakening moment. It has to have a main character, realize deep insight and spiritual depth. They have to embrace their pain and realize their joy, as happened in our musical offering. So 8 movies are going to go by here real quickly. I thought I'd let you know what they are. They're hard to guess. The first one is kind of a play on words. I thought it was The Night Before Christmas or Nightmare on Elm Street, but it is A Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993, by Tim Burton. The second is Elf, 2003, with Will Ferrell from Saturday Night Live. The third is Christmas Vacation, 1989, with Chevy Chase, also from Saturday Night Live. You're going to see a pattern here. Number 4, Christmas Spirit. It's the movie Scrooged from 1988 with Bill Murray. Number 5 for A Grinch is literally How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 2000, starring Jim Carrey. Number 6, Christmas Themes. This is It's a Wonderful Life from 1946. Number 7 is Gremlins, 1994. And this is one of the movies that they argue about. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie or not? Number 8, there has to be some type of an awakening. And here you actually have Ebenezer Scrooge in the animated version of A Christmas Carol from 2009. So watch these. They go by quick. It's only 30 seconds. But this is the accepted definition of what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie.
Here's a loose checklist. The setting. It takes place in the Christmas season, and the Christmas setting couldn't easily be swapped out. The movie's marketed or released at Christmas. It features Christmas music, especially in key moments. The Christmas spirit comes into play or is a driving force in the story. There's a Grinch or Scrooge character. The movie underlines classic Christmas themes. The tone is more subjective, but the movie gets us into the holiday mood. The end tends to restore the order of goodness and tradition.
So this helped me a lot because I was one of the people always arguing that these weren't Christmas movies. They're not particularly religious. They don't have deep religious themes. They're not particularly Christian in a sense. Christmas has become, it's kind of evolved, and it has this deep, profound, equally profound meaning about finding your authentic true self and living a life of peace and joy and not carrying grudges and connecting with people. And also the word love is used a lot. Love is not a word we use a lot in Buddhism. We tend to use the word compassion. But love, not in the sense of romantic love or lust, but a deep oneness, a deep warmth that we feel to each other. And love in the sense that we are all interconnected and that we are all one. So I wanted to show you a first example of this, of these 8 themes. This came out when I was a little boy in 1964. It's 1 minute, and this is The Grinch, Dr. Seuss. And the Grinch wants to steal Christmas. He doesn't want anyone to be happy. He's a curmudgeon. He's always mad. And he comes in to Whoville, and he steals their Christmas. He pretends he's Santa Claus, and instead of delivering presents, he takes them. But in this scene, he's about to lose the sleigh over a mountaintop, and it's about to slide down to the town and restart Christmas. And in that moment, his angry, small-minded ego heart begins to swell and grows 3 times. And so he's still the Grinch, but he's redeemed. He is awakened. He's a new person with a new perspective that's instantaneous in the moment.
What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2. And now that his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. With a smile in his soul, he descended Mount Crumpet, cheerily blowing hoo-hoo on his trumpet.
So this is a famous scene from my childhood. I think I like the doggy the best. I made sure I didn't clip this before you saw the doggy. The doggy is always happy. He's always nice. And this little doggy even loved a Grinch, even at his meanness, at his most wickedness. The little doggy felt connected to the Grinch, which is like what dogs do. Another example of a deep relationship and awakening is Home Alone. This is from 1990. Macaulay Culkin on the right plays Kevin. And it's really interesting. This old man, I looked it up on IMDb for this talk. The name of his character, I think, is just the old man. He's very lonely. In the credits, he doesn't even have a name. He's all alone. I think his wife passed away. And several years ago, he got in a bad argument with his son. And they each said things they shouldn't have said. And they haven't spoken since. And he has to sneak into church to see his granddaughter perform in the choir. And there's also a parallel story going on here. Kevin got in an argument with his mom and dad before they accidentally left him at home. So, this is set at Christmas, and that makes it a Christmas movie, but it's really about oneness and forgiveness and appreciating the most important things in your life is family.
You want to know the real reason why I'm here right now?
Sure.
I came to hear my granddaughter sing, and I can't come and hear her tonight.
You have plans?
No. I'm not welcome.
At church?
Oh, you're always welcome at church. I'm not welcome with my son. Years back, before you and your family moved on the block, I had an argument with my son.
How old is he?
Well, he's grown up. We lost our tempers, and I said I didn't care to see him anymore. He said the same. We haven't spoken to each other since.
If you miss him, why don't you call him?
I'm afraid if I call him, he won't talk to me.
How do you know?
I don't know. I'm just afraid he won't.
No offense, but aren't you a little old to be afraid?
You can be a little old for a lot of things. You're never too old to be afraid.
That's true. I've always been afraid of our basement. It's dark, there's weird stuff down there, and it smells funny, that sort of thing. It's bothered me for years.
The basements are like that.
Then I made myself go down there to do some laundry, and I found out it's not so bad. All this time I've been worrying about it, but if you turn on the lights, it's no big deal.
What's your point?
My point is, you should call your son.
So, he couldn't even go to the performance at night. He had to sneak in at rehearsal to see his granddaughter perform because a family feud had erupted and they'd never said, I'm sorry. And one of the neat things at the end of the movie, you see them hug in the driveway and they're a family again. They have the spirit of forgiveness and oneness and warmth. The other thing that's interesting is Kevin tells him that you just turn on the light and it's not so bad. And in Buddhism, light is a metaphor for wisdom. So if we can have wisdom and we turn on the light and we can see things clearly, that's when we can truly change and we can embrace our pain and realize our joy. So I'd like to show you one more. This is the movie Love Actually from 2000. Again, a Christmas movie because it matches up with our 8 requirements. I went out and I looked up all the names because I don't want to do this on the fly. So going from the left, the top row left to right, and then to the bottom row left to right. This is an ensemble movie. So that's Liam Neeson, Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant at the middle top, Keira Knightley, and Colin Firth. Along the bottom row, left to right, Alan Rickman, Laura Linney, Bill Nighy, and then I really like this actress. I think she's a famous, she had some hit songs in England. I haven't seen much of her, but I thought she made the movie. Her name is Martine McCathan. I wanted to give her credit. She's not a top A-list actress, but she really stole the film, I thought. And then Rowan Atkinson. The famous Mr. Bean is in the movie. And at the beginning of the movie, Hugh Grant gives a soliloquy or a opening monologue to the movie. And it's all about love and connection. And it's kind of hard to watch because everybody's at the airport, everybody's meeting their families, and everybody's hugging. And we can't really do that right now. But maybe it'll make us appreciate it even more when we can. And maybe we can connect through Zoom. I talked to a lot of people about Thanksgiving, and people did a 5-hour Zoom meeting with their family members. And so they made do with what they had because it's families that important. So I'd like to play this for you. This always makes me tear up. And he also mentions a national disaster, not the pandemic, of course, but he mentions 9/11.
Whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrivals gate at Heathrow Airport. General opinion is starting to make out that we live in a world of hatred and greed. But I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere. Often it's not particularly dignified or newsworthy, but it's always there. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, old friends. When the planes hit the Twin Towers, as far as I know, none of the phone calls from the people on board were messages of hate or revenge. They were all messages of love. If you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
So I thought that was wonderful. We've had a rough 2020. I've mentioned it before. We've had brush fires and hurricanes, and we have a global pandemic. We have Black Lives Matter issues. We had a presidential election. But wouldn't it be nice at this time for us to all stop, exhale, and realize that we're all interconnected. We are a human family, and we rise and fall together. This radical individualism in the United States, I just don't think it works. We're not an island. We are all connected to one another, and we have to take care of one another and watch out for one another. Just like in the metta prayer, we should hope that even our enemies are safe and well. So I was looking around just yesterday on the internet, and I wanted to find my title for my talk. And I looked up Buddhist Christmas, or I looked up Christmas Buddhism. And this was the third or fourth image that appeared on my iPhone. And I thought, oh, this is great. This is perfect. The internet has everything. So the Buddha says to the elf, I told you to be in the present, not bring me a present. So this is the play on words. As a Buddhist, the gift is to be in the present. It's not material giving. It's being aware, being present, being grounded, really listening and feeling and being one-to-one with another human being, to be able to communicate beyond words. So I hope at this holiday time, we can all give the gift to one another of being truly present for what's really important in our lives. So please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman. We're going to read the selected sayings together. Again, selected saying, page 9, number 5. So please put your hands together. When, through Amida's directing of virtue to them by the power of the vow, the foolish beings, ever floundering in birth and death, hear the true and real virtues and realize supreme awakening, they immediately attain great joy and reach the stage of non-retrogression, so that without being made to sunder their blind passions, they are brought quickly to the realization of great nirvana. Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu. So I hope you got the connection. All the Scrooges in all of our movie examples didn't really do anything to deserve enlightenment or awakening in terms of morals and ethics or purity. In a sense, they didn't deserve it, and yet they realized it by being truly present in their lives. So now we're going to have some announcements. For December 13th, from 11 to 11:45 online Dharma School classes meeting, we're going to have pre-K and K, Sakura and Momo, and then second and third grade, Yuri and Kikyo, and fourth is Ume, fourth grade, and eighth grade is Ayame. So they will be meeting today. And then, like last week, I wanted to go over our service schedule. So no family services on Sunday, December 20th. So that's a week from today. We're not going to have one on Sunday, December 27th because of, so 20th was usually mochisuki, rice making. And then the 27th is too close to Christmas, and Sunday, January 3rd is too close to New Year's. But we will be having services during the holidays. We will have New Year's Eve service on Thursday, December 31st. New Year's Day will be Friday, January 1st. Shotsuki Hoyo, Saturday, January 9th. And family service, Sunday, January 10th. And these will all be online due to the purple tier and the pandemic shutdown and stay-at-home orders. So I wanted to thank you very much for attending service today. I hope I've cleared up 4 controversies. Macaroni and cheese fork. Hot dog is a sandwich. What else? Oh, dogs wear pants only on their back half with a hole for their tail. And holiday movies are about insight, awakening, accepting, embracing, and transcending our pain in order to realize great joy in the here and now. And the great exemplar of that is the Ebenezer Scrooge and Grinch character in our culture and movies. So please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.